Was it the year football witnessed two different kinds of perfection? Or the year one story eclipsed another? Because while the world remembers one night in Paris, there are moments, flashes of brilliance, that even the most die-hard fans somehow let slip through memory. Moments that didn't just define careers, but quietly shaped football history. Before the trophies, before the headlines, before the mystery, there was magic. This is the story of 1998. The year of Zinedine Zidane and Ronaldo Nazario. The late 90s were not just a golden era, they were a turning point. Football was evolving, faster, more tactical, more global. And right at the center of that evolution stood two players who couldn't have been more different, yet somehow shared the same orbit. On one side, Zinedine Zidane, a conductor of elegance, a player who didn't just play the game, he slowed it down, bent it to his rhythm, and made it feel like art. On the other, Ronaldo Nazario, a force of nature, explosive, unpredictable, unstoppable. A striker who could dismantle defenses in seconds, leaving behind nothing but confusion and awe. In 1998? That was the year both men reached something close to their peak, at the same time, on the same stage. But here's the challenge. How do you define brilliance when it comes to players like these? Is it about trophies, goals, individual moments? Or is it about impact, the way they made people feel when they touched the ball? Because if you look at the headlines, one name dominates the year. But if you look deeper, the story becomes far more complex. Because before that one defining night in July, both Zidane and Ronaldo were writing masterpieces, and not all of them made it into the history books. Let's rewind. Before the World Cup, before France and Brazil collided, both players were already setting the football world on fire. Zidane, wearing the black and white of Juventus, had become the heartbeat of one of Europe's most dominant teams. But his brilliance wasn't loud. It didn't scream for attention. It whispered. There was a match in the Champions League that season, one of those nights where everything seemed ordinary, until Zidane touched the ball. He receives it just past midfield. Two defenders close in. For most players, it's pressure. For Zidane, it's opportunity. A subtle turn, a drag of the foot, one defender gone, another step, a flick, a glide. Suddenly he's in space that didn't exist seconds before. The stadium doesn't erupt immediately. It pauses, because what just happened didn't feel real. That was Zidane in 1998. Not just effective, not just skillful, mesmerizing. And then there were the passes, not just accurate, but visionary. Balls played into spaces where teammates hadn't even started their runs yet. It was as if Zidane wasn't reacting to the game, he was predicting it. Meanwhile, in Italy, Ronaldo was doing something entirely different. He wasn't slowing the game down, he was breaking it. Serie A in the 90s was brutal, tactical, defensive. It was where attackers went to be tested, and often humbled. But Ronaldo? He turned it into a playground. There's a moment from that season with Inter Milan, one that defenders still probably see in nightmares. He picks up the ball near the halfway line. Three defenders ahead, no clear path. It should end there, but it doesn't. A burst of acceleration, sudden, violent. The first defender lunges, misses. The second tries to close the angle. Ronaldo shifts direction without losing speed. The third doesn't even get close. Now he's through on goal. And the finish? Cold, precise, inevitable. No celebration needed. The message was clear. You can't stop him. You can only hope he slows down. By the time the World Cup approached, both players were already legends in the making. But international football is different. It's not about consistency over a season. It's about moments. And in 1998, the world was about to witness plenty. France, the host nation, pressure, expectation, hope. And at the center of it all, Zinedine Zidane. But the tournament didn't start perfectly for him. A red card in the group stage. A moment of frustration that could have defined his entire World Cup. And for a while, it looked like it might. Because while Zidane watched from the sidelines, France kept moving forward. But something was missing. Control, calm, identity. And when he returned, it was as if the entire team exhaled. Brazil's journey, on the other hand, felt inevitable. Because they had Ronaldo. And Ronaldo, in 1998, was not just a player, he was a phenomenon. Every time he touched the ball, something could happen. A dribble that defied logic, a run that left defenders chasing shadows, a goal that felt both shocking and completely expected. Against the Netherlands in the semi-final, there's a moment. Ronaldo receives the ball with his back to goal, surrounded. Most players would pass. Zidane, however, was ready. From the first whistle, he looked different, focused, calm, determined. And then, in the 27th minute, it happened. A corner kick. The ball swings in, Zidane rises, time slows. And then, impact. The header hits the net, 1-0. The stadium erupts, but Zidane isn't done. Just before halftime, another corner, another leap, another header, 2-0. In the biggest match of his life, Zidane delivers twice. Not with flair, not with tricks, but with timing, precision, authority. Ronaldo, meanwhile, looked like a shadow of himself. The runs weren't there, the explosiveness, missing. He tried, you could see it. Moments where he attempted to accelerate, but something held him back. It wasn't the Ronaldo the world had seen all year, and no one could quite explain why. As the game slipped away, France sealed it, 3-0. The final whistle blew. France had done it. Zidane had done it. But here's the thing. History remembers winners. It remembers the goals, the trophies, the celebrations. But 1998 wasn't just Zidane's year. Because before that final, Ronaldo had been unstoppable. A season of dominance, a World Cup run filled with brilliance, moments that reminded everyone why he was called O Fenomeno. And even in defeat, that brilliance didn't disappear. It became part of the story. Because greatness isn't always defined by one night. Sometimes it's defined by everything that came before it. And in 1998, both Zidane and Ronaldo gave football something unforgettable. Two different styles, two different journeys, one shared legacy. So what do you think? Was 1998 truly Zidane's year? Or was it a tale of two legends, where one moment simply overshadowed another? Drop your favorite moment from Zidane or Ronaldo in 1998 down in the comments. And if you felt that magic again while watching this, hit like, subscribe, and stay with us for more stories from football's greatest eras. Because sometimes, the past still has stories left to tell.